Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Seasonal Tokens Podcast, where Polar interviews people so you can do more investing and less gambling.
I have noticed that around that you have built an amazing website that talks in one way or another about that. And there is something very interesting on your website that I noticed today when I was checking it again while I was preparing for the podcast. You're saying something like that small steps can lead you to gigantic returns. So can you share more? What exactly do you mean by that?
So I believe that the first thing that any person does when they're going to build wealth is, of course, number one step, you've got to live on less than you earn. So I know that's not rocket science, and it's so basic and fundamental, but most people do not do it because we're assaulted, inundated with thousands and thousands of marketing messages per day. And not only that, like what you're describing on Instagram and the social channels where we see this, these lives that people are leading of travel and cars and clothes and incredible restaurants and all of that it causes jealousy. It causes the desire that we want that right now. And we're not really looking at, well, this person probably spent 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years in some cases of grinding till they got to this point of being able to do all these things. Young people who build a business really quick in today's digital marketing age, that is happening. They're certainly showcasing that on social, and then everybody else wants that. And that's very much the 1%, the 2%. It's not the norm. Most people are not able to do that. In fact, and I was just thinking about this as you were saying it, I have not had one business or one investment that has not had incredible adversity or really severe ups and downs. Not one yet. And I have 5 companies, and I'm in just about every different asset class that you can be in. I've had stocks crash on me. I've had real estate crash on me. I've had crypto crash on me. I've had my high return real estate company, one of my businesses in real estate, 6 years in, I have yet to take a paycheck out of that company. 6 years in, not one paycheck. All I've done is put money in to get the company off the ground and growing. My original direct sales business, the one I started when I was 19, it was until 8 months in that I got my first commission check for $14.90. It wasn't until about 5 years in that I had enough income, excess income, that I could actually, instead of, putting it into the business to keep the business going and to grow the business, to be able to start, investing into other assets. So there's never going to be anything that's going to be easy. In fact, my Bitcoin mining company, we started that a year ago. We're just going online next week. All the parts were delayed. Every part we needed to get our containers and our mining rigs going. We had the machines, we had the technical expertise. My partner's been mining it for several years. He knows what he's doing, but we didn't have the parts from China because China was in lockdown and all the supply chain disruptions that were happening, around the world. We couldn't get our parts that we needed to finish our mining rigs to plug our machines in, and nobody else had any room for us to put our machines with them. So these are the problems that you'll experience, and I don't have any magical answer. I just know you got to be persistent. You got to work through them. And there's a lot of patience required, and you're going to have to take some major hits along the way.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Like in most of the cases, people focus on the good things, but they forget about the grinding part. So like you said, you have gone through a lot of bad moments with your investments, and you also said that you have had your bad moments in crypto too. So I'm sure that you have done some mistakes during your journey in the crypto. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to learn and grow. So what have been your most costly mistakes in crypto investing so far?
I honestly don't think that I've made any mistakes. So, and I don't say that like, oh yeah, because I make plenty of mistakes in my businesses and in my, timing of buying investments. Of course, we could say that when crypto was cranking 2021, right? It was going up pretty fast, right? We could say that I made a mistake by when I continually was buying and adding more coins, right? But then again, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to, if we believe in the long-term value of an asset. So if I zoom out and 5 years, 6 years, 7 years from now, I believe that mass adoption is going to take place in this asset class. I believe that more and more institutional players, the big dogs, are going to come in and be buying up crypto. If I believe that, then I made no mistakes by buying and then the market crashed. Now, if I had bought and then the market drops and I sell out, that's a mistake. I have not sold a single coin yet. Even some of them, that were pretty risky, some of the smaller altcoins, I put a little bit of money into those relatively compared to like what I put into Bitcoin and Ethereum. And some of those, just crashed out big time. Some of them went up 10x, 15x. But at the end of the day, I haven't sold anything yet because I think that we're in the second inning. I don't want to try to time the market. I don't want to sell out on a good project that, 5 years from now, I'm going to be kicking myself saying, why didn't you just hold on to it? I'm kicking myself today. Why didn't I buy Tesla I bought a Tesla, the car, in 2016. Why didn't I buy the stock then too? I love the car. So I wish I would have done that, right? I wish I had just bought the asset. It was a great asset. I love the product. Just buy the asset and hold on to it. So I'm not doing that. I'm not going to make that mistake again. So that's why I'm saying I haven't made a mistake in crypto, because I've bought great projects that have incredible potential, real world transformational power. These are all the projects I've bought. There's something in them that can solve a problem in the marketplace, something that can solve a problem for humans. And so investing into those projects and then just holding on to them for multi-year periods, I don't think that's a mistake. So I'm not at all regretful for anything I've done. The only mistake, I guess, maybe in the mining department is just not anticipating the supply chain disruptions and the problems that we would have to get that mining rig kind of online and cranking out Bitcoin. But, then again, at the end of the day, we really couldn't have mined much anyways over the last 5 months because Bitcoin was so low that it was either not profitable or barely profitable anyways. So at the end of the day, it kind of worked out. It didn't matter. I think a lot of times, like, we get ourselves worked up and stressed out and anxiety about things that, like if you look over a course of a year, 2 years, 3 years from now, they weren't even a big deal anyways. I mean, it wasn't even that big of a deal. And you made it into a much bigger deal than it really is.
Absolutely. Amazing thinking about this.